Hello Mila, hello Jack. Hello everybody else who's watching. Welcome to Storytime with Grandad. Today's book is from Roald Dahl and it is Dirty Beasts. The Pig. In England there lived a big and wonderfully clever pig. To everybody it was plain that Piggy had a massive brain. He worked out sums inside his head. There was no book he hadn't read. He knew what made an aeroplane fly. He knew how engines worked and why. He knew all this, but in the end, one question drove him round the bend. He simply couldn't puzzle out what life was really all about. What was the reason of his birth? Why was he placed upon the earth? His giant brain went round and round. Alas, no answer could be found, till suddenly one wondrous night, all in a flash he saw the light. He jumped up like a ballet dancer and yelled, "By gum, I've got the answer! They want my bacon, slice by slice, to sell at an enormous price. They want my tender, juicy chops, to put in all the butchers' shops. They want my pork to make a roast, and that's the part 'll cost the most. They want my sausages in strings, they even want my chitterlings. The butcher's shop, the carving knife, that is the reason for my life. Such thoughts as these are not designed to give a pig great peace of mind." Next morning in comes Farmer Bland, a pail of pigswill in his hand, and Piggy, with a mighty roar, bashes the farmer to the floor. Now comes the rather grisly bit. Let's not make too much of it, except that you must understand that Piggy did eat Farmer Bland. He ate him up from head to toe, chewing the pieces nice and slow. It took an hour to reach his feet, because there was so much to eat. And when he finished, Pig, of course, felt absolutely no remorse. Slowly he scratched his brainy head, and with a little smile he said, "I had a fairly powerful hunch that he might have me for his lunch, and so, because I feared the worst, I thought I'd better eat him first." The Crocodile. No animal is half so vile as Crockywock the crocodile. On Saturdays he likes to crunch 6 juicy children for his lunch, and he specially enjoys just 3 of each, 3 girls, 3 boys. He smears the boys, to make them hot, with mustard from the mustard pot, but mustard doesn't go with girls. It tastes all wrong with plaits and curls. With them, what goes extremely well is butterscotch and caramel. It's such a super marvellous treat when boys are hot and girls are sweet. At least that's Crocky's point of view. He ought to know. He's had a few. That's all for now. It's time for bed. Lay down and rest your sleepy head. Shh! Listen. What's that I hear? Galumping softly up the stair. Go lock the door and fetch my gun. Hurry, child! Quickly! Run! No, stop. Stand back. He's coming in. Oh, look! That greasy, greenish skin. The shining teeth, the greedy smile. It's Crockywock the crocodile. The lion. The lion just adores to eat a lot of red and tender meat. And if you ask the lion what is the most tenderest of the lot, he will not say a roast of lamb, or curried beef, or devilled ham, or crispy pork, or corned beef hash, or sausages, or mutton mash. Then could it be a big plump hen? He answers no. What is it then? Oh, lion dear, could I not make you happy with a lovely steak, Could I entice you from your lair with rabbit pie or roasted hare?" The lion smiled and shook his head. He came up very close and said, "The meat I am about to chew is neither steak nor chips. It's you." Scorpion. You ought to thank your lucky star that here in England, where you are, you'll never find, or so it's said, a scorpion inside your bed. The scorpion's name is Stingerling, a most repulsive, ugly thing, and I would never recommend that you should treat him as a friend. His scaly skin is black as black, with armour plate upon his back. Observe his glowing, murderous face, his wicked eyes, his lack of grace. Note well his long and crinkly tail, and when it starts to swish and flail, oh gosh, watch out, jump back, I say, and run till you're a mile away. The moment that his tail goes swish, he has but one determined wish. He wants to make a sudden jump and sting you hard upon your rump. What is the matter, darling child? Why do you look so tense and wild? Oh, mummy, underneath the sheet there's something moving on my feet. Some horrid, creepy, crawly thing. Do you think it could be a stingerling? What nonsense, child, you're teasing me. I'm not, it's reached my knee. It's going up my thigh. Oh, mummy, catch it quickly, try. It's on my bottom now. It's, ow, 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 ow! The AntEater. Some wealthy folk from USA who lived near San Francisco Bay possessed an only child called Roy, a plump and unattractive boy, half-baked, half-witted and half-boiled, but worst of all, most dreadfully spoiled. Whatever Roy desired each day, his father bought him right away. Toy motor cars, electric trains, the latest model aeroplanes, a colour television set, a saxophone, a clarinet, expensive teddy bears that talked, and animals that walked and squawked. That house contained sufficient toys to thrill 500,000 boys. As well as this, young Roy would choose 2 pairs a week of brand new shoes. And now he stood there shouting, "What on earth is there I haven't got?" It's hard to think of something new. The choices are extremely few. A giant anteater. Why not? As soon as father heard the news, he quickly wrote to all the zoos. "Dear sirs," he said, "dear keepers, do any of you have anteaters?" They answered by return of mail, "Our anteaters are not for sale." Undaunted, Roy's fond parent hurled more messages around the world. He said, "I'll pay you through the nose if you can get me one of those." At last he found an Indian gent. He lived in Delhi in a tent, who said that he would sacrifice his pet for an enormous price. The price demanded, if you please, was 50,000 gold rupees. The anteater, half dead, it looked at Roy and softly said, "I'm famished. Do you think you could please give me just a little food? A crust of bread, a bit of meat. I haven't had a thing to eat. In all the time I was at sea, for nobody looked after me." Roy shouted, "No, no bread or meat. Go find some ants, that's what you eat." The starving creature crawled away. It searched the garden night and day. It hunted every inch of ground, and not one single ant it found. "Please give me food," the feature cried. "Go find an ant," the boy replied. By chance upon that very day, Roy's father's sister came to stay, a foul old hag of 83, whose name, it seems, was Dorothy. She said to Roy, "Come, let us sit out in the sun and talk a bit." Roy said, "I don't believe you've met my new and most unusual pet." He pointed down amongst the stones, where something lay all skin and bones. "AntEater," he yelled, "don't lie there yawning. This is my aunt. Come, say good morning." Some people in the USA have trouble with the words they say. However hard they try, they simply can't pronounce a simple word like aunt. Instead of aunt, they call it ant. Instead of can't, they call it can't. Roy yelled, "Come here, you so-and-so. My aunt would like to say hello." Slowly, the creature raised its head. "Do you mean that that's an ant?" it said. "Of course," said Roy. "Aunt Dorothy. This ant is over 83. The creature smiled, its tummy rumbled. It licked its starving lips and mumbled, "A giant ant. By gosh, a winner. At last I'll get a decent dinner. No matter if it's 83. If that's an ant, then it's for me." Then, taking very careful aim, it pounced upon the startled dame. It grabbed her firmly by the hair and ate her up right then and there, murmuring as it chewed the feet, "The largest ant I'll ever eat." Meanwhile, our hero Roy had sped in terror to the potting shed, and tried to make himself obscure behind a pile of horse manure. But AntEater came sneaking in. Already it was much less thin, and said to Roy, "You little squirt, I think I'll have you for dessert." The end of part 1. Goodbye, Mila. Goodbye, Jack. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.